Hello, everybody. This is Angel Arts, and welcome to another episode of Let's Interview the finalists for the Athenaeum Tabletop campaign. I am here once again, well, not once again, but I am here for the first time with Micah. Welcome, Micah.
Hey, how are you? I'm excited to be here.
We're excited to have you. And as you can see, I am here once again with one of Micah's selected interviewers, Tommy.
Hey, glad to be here, everyone, and best of luck to you, Micah.
Tommy, as you may know, you may have seen Tommy from such campaigns as the Dragon Age Ascension campaign, where he played Russo Alren, our favorite lawyer, and Dan the Man, among other things. But today he is going to do the most of the driving, so I will just let you take it away, Tommy.
What would you say basically jump-started your interest into tabletop gaming and what fascinates you with it?
Honestly, watching Angel Art's tabletop campaign. The funny thing was, I believe I was watching I think it was Mass Effect Andromeda, and he mentioned something about tabletop, and honestly, I thought he was talking about a board game. So I was like, what is tabletop? So I randomly looked it up, and I saw people pretending to be characters, and I said, this is different. And then I started exploring Angel Art's channel, and I was like, Dragon Age? Click. And I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. So that's what got me started.
If you were to be selected into the final team, what role do you see you yourself filling among a group of players? Do you see yourself acting more as the mentor, more as the support character, more as like the comic relief? Where do you see either Ethan or Starr fitting in with any team?
With Starr, it would be support slash comedy. And Ethan would be more comedy because of like his sassy nature.
If you were to find yourself in a situation where the team was struggling with a puzzle in game or with an encounter or trying to get a role play scene, how would you go about helping your team deal with that?
Well, depending on the type of puzzle, if I'm familiar with it, I might be like, oh, I can figure this out role playing wise. I'm seeing how I could best support them by maybe rechecking whatever the question was to kind of attack the question or look at the question and answer it, I guess, to my best abilities. That's one way I would say it. And if we were in like a role playing like battle situation, I would more than likely be rolling to make sure I'm keeping everybody's heels up and keeping everybody motivated. I guess I think that's one of the aspects of it from what I understood how tabletop support characters work. So yeah, that I guess that's the best way to put it. And I guess attack when I see an opening.
As a role player, what do you find as your biggest weakness in being in a group of people and playing a full campaign, and how do you plan to overcome it?
Hmm, very good question. Well, my biggest weakness is the lack of knowledge. And how I plan to overcome it is to experience it outright. And I've been educating myself by watching Angel Arts. Right now, I'm watching the Harry Potter campaign, and oh my God, I am laughing hysterically at everything. So, what I'm learning is how to best chime in, pay attention to when Angel Arts is giving us direction without actually giving direction. Yeah, I hope that answers your question to the best of my ability. Like I said, my biggest weakness is not the lack of knowledge. And going through this, I know I'll learn. I'll pick up, as they say, I'll pick up the reins and start running with everybody else.
Part of the campaign of what makes it so unique is that not only is your character important, but the world and universe that they come from is also important.
Mhm.
So, could you take some time to sell to the audience your character's universe? What is it about this universe that makes it unique, interesting, or just plain fun for a party to jump into?
Okay. Well, one of the aspects is because it is music, magic, and science fiction. Um, One fun thing that I'm going to put in the world, or I would like to see in the world, is like this group of psychopathic unicorns. They're all female and they're all like over the top. Just imagine a group of over the top sassy girls that are just like ready, as they say, ready to cut a bitch because that's just like in their nature. Another aspect is that the government in this world is trying to figure out everyone who has magic and it's tied to their music. So they have this thing called musical idol that the government's trying to low key develop talents or find out who has real talent so they can steal them away. So that's one fun aspect of it. And the fact that it is also romance. Um, a fun thing would be see how easily people fall in love with the other character, the other PCs walking about, like, it's like love at first sight. Like the whole joke with that, I think would be really fun. Or people developing their own little harems, I think would be a fun and cool way, for people to explore the world and see some really adorable and interesting character reactions.
As a person, or just based on your personality, what do you foresee is going to be your biggest contributor? What do you think you would contribute most to the group, either in character or out of character, throughout this experience? And in reverse, what kind of things are you hoping to gain from your fellow players or learn from your fellow players through this experience?
Well, if I was to say what I would hope to provide is, being a friend or just being an ear to listen, to be as supportive as possible. I know what it's like when, like, for right now, like, I'm a fish out of water. And so learning something like this, I would want someone to kind of be there to kind of, nudge me along or guide me along the way. So I would love to be that to others, even though I, like I said, feel like a fish out of water, but I would love to learn. And what I would really love to get back from this is to grow my imagination and to learn from others. I think that's the biggest thing about these kind of things, is that when you interact with a bunch of people, especially in the way yours are set up, like people from around the world, you learn so much. And I think learning is a key to life. So for me personally, I want to learn and I want to grow and I want to, like I said, enhance my imagination. I hope that satisfies your question.
It's very apparent that I just love your energy and just positive nature. It's just very infectious in a good way. And you strike me as somebody who can, or at least has a very good ability to be larger than life. And so I know that some of the players, if they come to this campaign, are a little quieter, are a little bit more reserved. And just in general, your big energetic personality could be a little intimidating, or it could be harder for them to feel like they can be assertive and try to share some of the spotlight with you. How do you think you might be able to mitigate those concerns for some of the quieter players?
Well, for one, as my grandma would say, be like water, be flowing in every direction. And when you see someone seems to be a little reserved, flow in their direction by provoking them with a question. One thing I learned, and I will say this, from being in management and leadership, when I would notice like quieter employees, I would invoke them by talking to them directly, because usually that's sometimes what they need. They just need a direct question to draw them out of themselves. And I hope that makes sense.
Thank you. That's all the questions I had. So back to you, Tommy.
Oh my, let's go. I'm going to say that it's a lovely summer night in the city that you're most used to performing as a Starr, and you're in the end of your tale performance. Basically, give me a little bit of a description on how you would have your stage set up and the kind of performance a Starr would give to his crowd.
For Starr, because they're over the top, what you would see is a completely black stage. And as the performance would start and how it would end is that you would see these pillars of light. So it would be in a rainbow. And each rainbow would have the symbol or the letter that spells out the word Starr. So as the performance would begin, you would notice that you would hear, like, let's just say, for example, they were getting ready to start singing, I don't know, Michael Jackson's Butterflies, right? The lights would be pulsing to the beat. Starr would rise up on stage, and as he starts to perform, as he's moving, have you ever seen those pictures where it's like someone poses and then they move and it's like a body there and they pose? It's kind of like that as he manifests himself. And that's kind of how it would be starting. And as he's dancing and performing and moving about the stage, you would notice that he constantly goes in and out of himself. So he's constantly breaking apart. And like, say he's getting ready to like hit a high note or a more power note, he would burst with star energy or star magic, however you want to word it, as a way to create effects. Like when he would say butterflies, whatever, you would see butterflies burst from his body in a rainbow effect. And because Starr has multiple people within him, he sings at different octaves. So you would hear him singing at different octaves when there's only one person on stage. And it's all meant to look like it's a technological effect versus his magic. So when he's getting ready to end his performance, one fun thing I think, like he always tries to end with like a softer song or a ballad to calm the audience back down right before he ends. So one song that I really do like, I don't know if you guys heard of Karen Bailey Ray. She's a British singer, absolutely gorgeous girl. Oh, she sings this song called Like a Star, and it's such a beautiful and enchanting song. I highly recommend you look into it. He would end the song out like that. And so the song goes, oil on my hands, only to love you. So while he's singing, you would see another star step out or like another aspect of him. And then they would pick up the note where he left off. So there's always like a crescendo with his voice. So it always have like a beautiful harmonizing effect. And he would do that entire performance a cappella. And then when he would end, he'll say, to all of my beautiful fans out there, this is Starr, and I want to wish you a good night. And then he would burst with magic. The stage goes black. And when the lights come back on, it's like no one's there. It's all magic. So that's like an idea for a stage performance.
Okay, I'm going to say that you've given a very similar performance to this out on the city street. And you've gone through the whole gambit. It was very beautiful and elaborate. But you notice as the show went on that the crowd kind of thinned as it went further and further and further. And you've been noticing this as a little bit of a reoccurring thing where maybe they've gotten a little used to this act. Maybe like it's just real late at night and people had to leave. But you notice the last couple shows, there's been a bit less attendance as the duration went through. But you don't let that stop you when you finish up. What would Starr say as their send-off to the crowd?
So still trying to stay as a performance and in character, Starr would be like, I'm so grateful that you all came out tonight. The audience has thinned, but you know what that means? The true fans, my true stars, are right here with me. And I'm so glad that we had the chance to explore this ability to celebrate music and magic tonight. And so I bid you all an adieu. And he would take off his hat and do like a flourish with his bow, and his wings would flutter. And as they flutter, you see like glitter falling off of it, because he's always trying to stay in character and as a performer, if that makes sense.
You'll get a very warm applause, and everyone seems to be cheering. There's a little bit of pyrotechnics to go with your display. And then everything settles down, and you see stormy rain waiting for you on the side of the stage.
So in character, he'll walk up and be like, babe, I can't believe this. So many people keep leaving the stage or leaving the crowd. Am I doing something wrong? Is it me? Am I not the same musician I once was before? Am I losing my sparkle?
Oh, hun, believe me, you're the one and only Starr with double R. You're
right
just
now,
as special and as perfect as you need to be. We'll get through this, right? Just trust me.
Well, you haven't led me astray so far, so I guess I can trust you. But right now, I just feel like a star with one R. I want to go to my dressing room. I need to think. Maybe, you know what? Maybe if we revamp everything. You know, I recreate myself. Maybe instead of just Starr with 2 R's, maybe Starr with 3 R's, then I would be Starr. That wouldn't work. So, I don't know. I need to think, because this is just not cool, man.
Yeah, I feel you, and he'll give you like a small like touch to the side of the head. Look, these things happen to everyone, love. I do agree, maybe the show could use a little bit of a facelift, but I don't think we need to add 3 or 4 stars. That'd be even weirder because that'd be Starr. But no. Absolutely. I think we can talk about some stuff to absolutely revamp the show and get you right back up on the top. It'll be lickety split. Just give me a moment.
Cool beans. Well, like I said, you never left me straight, but the only thing I'm really concerned about is that bitch Beyonce. Because the moment she finds out that I'm losing an audience, oh, she's gonna be all over that mess. Again, need to go to my dressing room. And where's Energy? Where is she? Like, and I need to see when my next appointment is. Or maybe if we do, maybe we do like one of those specials. What's a famous kid show? What is that really popular character be? Like maybe I should do a musical on her show. Maybe people will love me again. Maybe. I don't know.
I'll say the two of you, you'll have like a favorite bar. There's no need to really like overly describe it for the sake of time. But the two of you are walking down the crowded street, and it's packed. Like imagine New York Times Square, like fourfold, like the level of people as you're just weaving your way through. And without realizing it, you'll have a little bit of a thud, and you'll like run into a guy that's wearing like a V-neck that's got a bit of a frizz on his chin, has a bit of messy hair, and then he goes, can you like look where you're going, man? Whatever. And then as he walks away, you hear him in the background. You hear his buddy say to him, don't worry about it. You're the man after all. And then you turn and you notice that Stormy isn't with you anymore.
Okay. He'll look, because he's kind of used to Stormy kind of standing up for him because Stormy is his bodyguard. So he'll be like, Stormy, handle my lightweight. Stormy? Babe? Where? And he'll turn around, he'll be like, Stormy? Where are you? So what he'll do, he'll flutter up higher so he can try to see above the crowd to see like, where's Stormy? And then from there, he'll start flying around. It'll be like, Synergy, where is Stormy? And how did we lose him? And first and foremost, that guy was like totally rude. So ill to him.
Energy will pop up kind of fluttering, being like, yeah, man, forget about him going a million miles a minute. And then he'll leave to go look for Stormy. And then you take another cursory look over the crowd. Then I'm going to say that Energy basically does a little bit of an echo to you that does like a giant arrow pointing you in a direction to go. And cool. You can fly your way over there, and you proceed to look for Stormy.
Well, because Energy is saying over here, he's just gonna go towards Energy because he's like, all right, well, whatever is she up to? So he'll like, hopefully, Stormy is there, so he'll fly in that direction.
Okay, you'll fly over there, and you see the Energy's kind of hovering all over the ground, looking over different things. You notice that there's some ruffled over stuff, like some pallets have been knocked over, trash cans off to the side. But you notice that Energy's like having some issues and goes to the other end of the alleyway. As you take your way to the end of the alleyway, you walk your way there, and then as soon as you can take a look, you hear a on the back of your head.
Okay.
So, and now you awake, who knows how many hours later, in a very dingy room with like one light hanging, going from side to side.
Okay. So he'll be like, well, Energy, this will be the last time I ever follow you anywhere. First and foremost, where am I? And more importantly, did I just get kidnapped again? I swear, if this is another Psycho fan, this is going to be a problem. Wait, Energy, where are you? Stormy? Damn it, I'm alone again.
And as you have this whole epiphany and you're looking over everything in the room and you don't see Energy there and you're getting more and more amped as this happens, you kind of hear a thud on the door. And you see a bit more of a portly man walk in with like a cyan tux and like a bowler cap. And he's very short but wide. And he's got very scaly of a complexion. And he walks with a top cane that's got a jewel on it. You recognize this man as the one and only Davy Deals, the worst tortoise around.
They'll be like, Davy Deals, you scaly bastard. What do you want this time? More importantly, why am I here? And two, I want a latte. But still, Answer the first question.
Well, my dear, you're here because my offer of you changing to my contract still stands. And the latte, we can talk about that. But first and foremost, I absolutely want to give you a bit more incentive. And he'll lean his cane against the wall and go. And you'll see two like hyena guys in like very like ruffled like wife beaters and baggy pants come in dragging up Stormy, basically like beat up and bruised and like a bit limp and unconscious right now.
First of all, you beat up my manager. You're already on my no Christmas list, so ill to you. Second of all, yo, Stormy, you okay there, bro? And why are you trying to manipulate me? And another thing, if you're gonna hit me on the head, you could at least provided a pillow. For real, for real. Now, what are your terms? And he'll be like looking at Stormy like panic, and a dead giveaway is his wings are like twitching, like vibrating with like nervous energy. So he's like, so talk, turtle, now.
Davey will take his bowler hat off and kind of stroke the back of his head. Well, first off, there is a pillow. Lean back. 2, my terms are you leave Stormy, come to me. I give you a better cut. And that bitch Menance, she's gone. She's on my payroll. It's all your show. But I demand exclusivity if you catch my drift. You'd be stuck with me for 5 years. No other offers can come on the table. Not even of this garden variety that we have here. And then the other thing too would be, it'd be a shame if they realized your manager was a bit more than just a manager. And you'll notice that in his offhand, he's kind of flicking a ring back and forth over his knuckles.
Starr will be like, oh shit. Well, since we are talking business, and you seem to have such a great offer on the table, especially that Beyonce, I swear to God, you need to find out if she is doing voiceover or something. She is auto-tuning, I swear. And she totally copied me at the last award ceremony. But you know what? We're not going to talk about that right now. Second of all, where'd you get the ring?
Well, first off, Menance's industry secret. Don't tell you unless we sign. 2, it happened to be on your friend's hand here. And I notice you have a very similar one tied to your belt.
Well, just so you know, Stormy and I are a part of an exclusive 2-member only club, and that because we are of the same club, we decided to have rings to always notice each other in a crowd. Think about it. Second of all, get your funny looking friends off my Stormy. And then as he's saying this, he's starting to shimmer red a little bit because he's starting to get a little agitated. And maybe, and only maybe, we'll talk about your deal.
Now that's rather peculiar. Club only 2 are part of, and you got rings to celebrate. Now, if I were an assuming man, which in this business you absolutely have to be, I would say that's marriage. Secondly, and they does like that, and they drop Stormy straight onto the ground, like let go of him, and he plops onto the floor. Mm-hmm. Now, I don't really need to lay a finger on Stormy. But, and he leans in and looks you dead in the eyes as he says this. If you agitate me, let's just say he'll be a little diminished from here on.
Well, here's what I say to you, Turtle. No deal. And he'll hit him with the starburst energy. So what do I do then?
We'll just say you do it. And he hits the back of the wall and he kind of makes a dent in there. Then you can see that he's very visibly pissed off. And you notice that the rope on you kind of binds as though there was an enchantment on it, like he was anticipating you doing this kind of thing. And you feel it squeeze and squeeze and squeeze till you start binding and curl up on the floor. And then he leans over. Last chance. And you see him pull a box out of his jacket. Yes or no?
He'll look at Stormy and he'll say, well, remember, I'm not the only singer in the group. And if he can, he'll split himself apart so all 5 of them will be out. And then from there, one will fly over to Stormy and like ram into one of the tiger guys. The other one will go for the box in his hand. So you'll see Amethyst will go for the box. Sapphire will knock back one of the tigers. The other one, Rhyolite, will go for the turtle again to like do like a Guile style flash kick with his dance fighting. And Ruby will also go after the other tiger guy so they can Cheetah, so they can knock him off, so they can try to get to Stormy so they can wake him up.
The fight does ensue. Pretty much you feel that because Davy Deals is such a big man, he's able to hold his own, but you are able to eventually get Stormy away, and you do get the box. And then basically, as you get away, you realize that he was able to keep the rings, but you did leave with Stormy, and he starts to wake up, and he'll kind of go... Man, Mondays are a drag.
And then Amethyst will say, darling, are you alright? Did they hurt you? And then Topaz will be like, bitch, he's covered in bruises, so I think he is. Then you'll hear Sapphire, who's more of like the chill. You're like, bros, chill. We got our Stormy, we got the box. And then Rhyolite, who's his fear, will be like, but we don't have the rings, and if people find out about the rings. And Ruby will pipe up and say, but what's most important is that we have our husband. Let's just try to get out of here as fast as we can, and maybe we should put ourselves back together. And then Amethyst will say, but alone we're not strong enough to hold him up, so I think if we work together we can get out of here faster. What do you say, Stormy? If we go under your arms, do you think that's enough, or you have any broken ribs, love?
Boys, it's fine. I can get up on my own. And he'll very slowly force himself up with a limp. Now, while I'd love to chat with all 5 of you, could you please give me only 1 point of contact? This is a lot right now.
They'll all snap back together, and he'll say, and you'll hear their voices say in unison, sorry, love. Are you okay, though?
It takes more than a tortoise to put Stormy down.
Well, that's good to hear. Let's get the hell out of here and let's find out what's inside this box.
I'm gonna say, like, you do eventually leave.
Starr would have been like, okay, well, both of our rings were gold. They had etchings of my initials and yours on it. In hindsight, maybe that was a bad idea. But still, we can go with that. We can make some rings. And from there, we can start our own exclusive Stormy Starr Club. Think about it. Yeah?
You kind of see energy, like, thud on the window, holding up a newspaper that says, sham of marriage exposed. Why did it take so long to talk about this? And then you see like the rumor and gossip section of, I can't believe that Starr was with someone this whole time. He was the #1 single for like 6 years running.
So when Starr will see that, he'll go forward. He'll be like, first of all, that's a misprint. I was the #1 star for 8 years in a row. Second of all, they didn't get my good side. Stormy, like, look at this. Like, I look fat. Oh my God. Oh, and also our marriage is exposed. So, well, hello everybody. My name is Starr with 2 R's. You want to know why you want me to be a part of this amazing campaign and one of the finalists? 1, because I can sing, I can dance, and on top of that, I'm pretty. Who wouldn't want a pretty guy like me singing for you all the time? Not to mention, my husband, he happens to be a fox. So, vote for Starr, the superstar. Deuces.